Okay, welcome back. I'm on Do Not Disturb now. But like I was saying, that's not a form of that's not a form of protecting blackness, and it's actually counterproductive. You know, when they see you walk in there, this chocolate man, chocolate successful man, that lets them know that like they say black women need to be protected but and respected, but the most disrespected, unprotected is the black woman, because now you set this precedent that, oh, you're too good for a black woman. You see what I'm saying? And they're thinking, oh my God, oh, he doesn't even want to be with his own people. You know what I mean? So it's actually counterproductive. You know what I mean? It's actually counterproductive. And it's crazy that we as a people haven't picked up on the negative things that we're doing to ourselves to function within this society. And they wonder why we get badgered, murdered, and killed, because there's no respect there for you. There is no cause for pause. They have no reason. Number one, you guys are not a united front. You know what I'm saying? You don't project care, concern, or love for one another. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And it's like you can't then say, oh, don't murder me because XYZ, but yet and still you are murdering yourself culturally by allowing all these different races within your race. You're murdering yourself culturally by not being or marrying your counterpart. You're murdering yourself culturally through a lot of other things. So once the culture dies, you die as a people anyway. We're so brainwashed that we don't even realize that we're not being oppressed anymore. You know who's oppressing us? Each other. Who oppresses the black woman? The black man. You know what I'm saying? And we all know through mitochondrial DNA, the black woman is unequivocally God. So with that being said, or, so not to offend my religious followers, God-like. So with that being said, if you're going to disrespect what brought you into this world, if you're going to disrespect mitochondrial DNA, and then you wonder why you have a lot of our ancestors cannot come with us and talk to us and commune with us on a spiritual level, because we have diluted our own genetic amino acids to the point and they have so much Neanderthal within our amino acids until they can't break through. You know how they're infiltrating our blood and our brains with the smart dust? If you don't know what smart dust is, let me know. I'll do a video on it. They're using melanin to do so. You know what I mean? So, and no one picks up on that shit. And I think that it's really, really, it's awkward for me to sit back and watch blackness be so unprotected, blackness being so uncared for. But it's like, what the fuck do you expect? You know? At this point, it's like we're expecting other races to respect us and hold us to a standard that's appropriate for at least another human being, but we don't hold ourselves to that standard. We treat our women like shit, hoe around, fuck around, slut around, you know what I'm saying? And then the women feel like they're lost causes, so they go hoe around, slut around, and fuck around. And then the sad part about it is, if you think about it, the women that are ruining the reputation of black women are the non-black women who are acting in such deplorable manners, and they're not even black. Cardi B isn't black, but she acts in such a deplorable manner. Danny Lee isn't black, but she acts within such a deplorable manner. Evelyn Lozada isn't black, but she acts within such a deplorable manner. But we've allowed those ladies in our race, so they are a negative depiction of us. Instead of being a negative depiction of a Latino woman, or you're a Latino woman, or a white woman, there are negative depictions of us, and they're not even us. Most black women don't slut around, don't hoe around. You know what I'm saying? If you look, it's always, and no offense to my light-skinned sisters, it's always that light-skinned, racially ambiguous woman who's really not black, who is functioning within our society. Now, there are light-skinned black women with two black parents. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that most of the ones that are in our race doing all these deplorable, despicable things, especially on a platform such as television or a highly followed or anticipated YouTube or Instagram channel, they are not black. They're not black. I only have seen one black, of all these couples, shows or whatever on YouTube, I only seen like one real black couple where it's a dark-skinned man and a dark-skinned woman. You're never going to see that. And it's not because black women don't find dark-skinned men attractive. It's because dark-skinned men have been brainwashed to think that we're not attractive. You know, like I was saying, my little brother-in-law, where he was saying he doesn't date black women, but he's never had an experience with a black woman. But just think about it. From Proud Family on down, he's just been subjected to a negative image of a black woman. So he can meet an Ivy League, a beautiful one black girl that comes from a good black family and may even have access to generational wealth. But he won't even give her a chance, even though she'll be the perfect woman for him, because he doesn't date black women. You know what I mean? Like right now, he's with a German. I doubt he really knows the turmoil that we have had with Germany and German people. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know? I would never put myself in a room to be called a nigga in another language and I don't understand what the fuck people saying about me. You know what I mean? So we have to break this perpetual cycle of not respecting and protecting being black itself. You know what I mean? You can't say, oh, don't kill us, don't murder us, all that bullshit. You can yell it to the rooftops, but we do not protect our own blackness, our own identity. The degenerates of every other race can come over here and be black. It was, okay, I'll give you another example. There is a Middle Eastern, owns the Middle East, even though that's Northeast Africa, but whatever. That's between you guys and the Pangea map, like I always say. There was Indian, I'm gonna eat some of this cake. There was an Indian guy who owned, and I say Indian loosely, you know, because we all know what it really is. Those are, what's it called, Mongoloid? What's the white people called? I can't think of the term for them. But anyway, so, and he was tatted up and all that and had the whole black caricature thing down. And there was another guy in the store with him, a black guy, darker than me, very handsome, you know, got his tattoos and stuff. And they was talking about how they was brothers and all that their stuff. I don't know how we got on the subject of race, but, you know, that tends to happen when I'm around. And I see other races acting black and have black friends, you know, that they're not really friends with. You know, a lot of those Indian people hang out with black people at their stores and let them hang out at their stores for protection, not so much as respect or that they like them. They just, you know what I'm saying, get down and lay down and hopefully they'll be protected against robbery and things like that because they are cool with the big bad nigga in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So let's not act like that's not what's going on. And we provide other races and their businesses with more protection than we do our own race and our own businesses. But anyway, I digress. So we got on that subject. And he was like, that's my brother. That's my brother. We go to temple together, blah, blah, blah. Because, of course, they're both Muslim. So I said, well, since that's your brother, when you go home, do you protest against slavery? He was like, I said, yeah. Do you have, when you go home, do you have black servants that look like me that were kidnapped? You know what I mean? Let's not act like there's still slavery going on in your homeland, and you can't come over here and say, oh, I'm friends with niggas, and then or Negroes, excuse me. I'm friends with Negroes, and then go back home and don't protest against slavery of the global Negro. You know what I mean? Granted, we're not African, but we all have that mitochondrial DNA that connects us. So, at some point, we're going to have to give a fuck about our race enough to say, no, you're not black. If you're dating a Hispanic girl, stop letting that girl pretend like she black. Crimping her hair and all that there shit. I remember when Mexicans was Mexicans. I'm going to propose a question to y'all. Do y'all think that all these black biracial people that are claiming to be black, if they could claim white or pass for white and be in white society and benefit from white privilege, do you honestly think that they would choose to be black? No. They're cast out. Like, Kiki Wyatt, the only reason she dates black men, even though she hates them, is because that's all she can get. Understand that. That's all that would have her. Her or her ghetto white trash mama. Being ghetto is not a badge of honor. But in order to become famous in Hollywood, as a black person, you gotta embody that ghetto role or that dope friend role. Be a ugly angel mama looking girl. Okay. Back to Kiki Wyatt. They were on some app with this guy named MC Shaky. He's a real messy girl from New Orleans, you know, a queen. And he's really, really messy. I follow him. He was on Erica Mena neck, baby. Another girl who wants to be black so bad, but don't like black people, like black dick. And that's all that she can get. No self-respecting, wealthy businessman of any other race is going to be with her besides a black guy. Again, I apologize about my voice. Like I said, my larynx, my voice box, everything is dried from overabundance of alcohol over the weekend. Anyway, so they want some group. It was Milan, the gay guy from Love and Hip Hop, some other guy, MC Shaky. They were arguing over chicken and the origins of KFC or Popeyes, whatever the case may be. And I did look at the video and Shaky was right, but Kiki got so mad at him. He was all kinds of monkeys and gorillas and fat black this and fat black that. Just way disrespectful. And then Kiki breaks out, and then when he called her out on it, he just left the group. He didn't disrespect her or nothing. He bowed out and went on his own live. And Kiki Wyatt was like, how can I put it? They did the whole I wasn't white enough for white people and wasn't black enough for black people whole role. And it's like, stop it. If this is your attitude, maybe people didn't play with you as a kid because you had a nasty attitude and you had a nasty, I'm entitled, better than you attitude coming up, and the little girls did not want to play with you. That could possibly be it. You know what I mean? Some people just don't act like they were perfect angel children, and people just didn't want to play with them, like Hazel E. If your attitude is this nasty now, I'm pretty sure it was nasty. You was full of yourself as a kid. So it's not because you're light-skinned. It's not because you have loosely coiled hair. It's probably because you were a bit of a bitch as a kid. Period. But anyway. So, called him monkeys and all this other stuff. And disrespecting him. And these black men who are just as dark as Shaky coddled her, defended her, said how strong of a woman she is, and all this and all that. And she was talking with this accent like this, like a fucking hillbilly. And they were just coddling her. And I'm like, oh my God, are y'all really not going to defend this black man who was just called a monkey by this all but white woman? Are you serious? Are you serious? Like, that's crazy. The first thing they do is to attack the low-hanging fruit and call people ugly. Like, it was a guy in my comments. I'm not sure what race he was, because, you know, they never put a picture up when they talking shit about you. On my video, colorism is worse than white supremacy or something like that. He said, only ugly women complain about colorism. And he was trying to insinuate that I was ugly. And I wasn't falling for the bait, honey. I'm not going to argue with you. At the end of the day, there's light-skinned girls that are looked the exact opposite as me that peep colorism and know what it is and calls that shit out. And what I did was I went on this other girl page I followed and shared the link with them. You know what I mean? Since I'm ugly, here's someone that you probably would think is beautiful and pretty. She's saying the same shit I'm saying. Y'all are tripping. Colorism is a sickness within the black community that we need to cure. So anyway. And then, all these black people were just coddling her and trying to make her feel better. And I don't even know why she was crying. She's the one that called somebody else a monkey. But we don't protect blackness. We don't protect our black features. This is ugly to people. It's ugly and it's not attractive, but that's what you've been taught. Just like on the Pride family. Y'all know that they're relaunching the Pride family. Everybody's going to be older and growner. The little black girl, Dejanay, she's still going to be ghetto and classless. The one dark-skinned person on the cast is ghetto and classless, right? Moesha, ghetto, classless, ratchet, dark-skinned woman. Like, when you see dark-skinned women in a lot of these sitcoms, they're ghetto, classless, trash. And then the lighter counterparts are classy and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It is crazy to me. So, and we don't say nothing about it. You know what I mean? We don't say nothing about it at all. Like, even on P-Valley, the light-skinned girl got to be the smart corporate girl that was able to win for $250,000 and this, that, and the third. And then the dark-skinned man, he don't know if he's a boy or a girl. The dark-skinned stripper Mercedes finally saved up for her own gym, and her light-skinned mama stole it from her and robbed it in the name of Jesus. You know what I mean? So, another dark-skinned girl getting beat the shit out of by her white man. You know what I'm saying? Very often. And when a black man tried to protect her, she put a gun on him. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't escape how people view us because they're constantly being told that this is how we are, this is how we act, this is what we do, this is it, this is it, this is it. You know, and it's crazy. And even as black men, they'll love to say, oh, black women crazy, black women have an attitude. But whatever black woman you experienced that with, did you take accountability for your action that made her act crazy? Did you fuck up friends and talk shit about her behind her back, but still went and ate her food and slept in her bed every night? You know what I mean? Were you disrespectful towards her, so she went crazy and ballistic on your ass? You know what I mean? Like, people in the neighborhood thought that I was crazy because I stabbed up my daughter's father's car, threw a brick in every last one of the windows from the garden that he built for me, and I went ham on his Cadillac. But he threw a barbecue pit and busted my windows first. You know, and everybody thought I was crazy and I was tripping, but my window got busted first. So we busting windows now. Oh, okay, bet. You know what I mean? But I'm the crazy black girl, 8 months pregnant, busting windows when you busted my windows first. You know what I'm saying? That is like, but that's typical for me to do that. Like, that's normal. You know what I mean? Like, people have reactions to things. You know what I mean? And people have reactions to things. And it's like, just because a person is reactionary, that doesn't make the whole race crazy, the whole race belligerent, the whole race tactless and classless and all these things that we as black women and black men have to deal with. You know what I mean? And since everybody wants to have sex with the black man, they don't get it as much as the black woman does. Because when we are, y'all hush! Those are my puppies. When we are desired, it's fetishizing. You know what I mean? You want to have anal with us and do this nasty stuff with us and come on our faces and all of this nasty shit. It's very sexualized. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be with us because you know you're going to get a home-cooked meal. Because you know we cook good. Because you know we're really not slutty. So you're going to experience walls. You know, walls and witness. You know what I'm saying? It's not for positive reasons. It's basically for fetishized reasons. You know what I mean? And it's like the white woman or the light woman or the racially ambiguous woman, you expect her to be calm and demure and let you be a man and let you lead and all this here shit. You know what I'm saying? You expect that of them, but then you expect thoughts bring about things. You expect to have this negative experience with us, so you don't even get an experience with us at all. And you expect to have a great experience with them, so you have a great experience with them. You see what I'm saying? It's like you go into a relationship with a black woman or a dark-skinned woman with negative intentions or with a negative mindset and then wonder why it doesn't work. But then you go into a relationship with this light, bright, or racially ambiguous woman or biracial woman or just a woman of a different race, and it works out, but you thought that through. You know what I'm saying? You thought it was going to work out. You thought it was going to be a positive experience. You wasn't as disrespectful, as unfaithful, and more committed to the relationship. You know what I mean? And then another thing about not protecting blackness. You have black men who get mad at white women or biracial women for saying that they don't date black men. When Doja Cat said she don't date black men, these niggas went crazy. Ape shit crazy. I'm like, what in the fuck is happening? Are y'all really mad that this is biracial girl, who, not black, biracial girl saying she doesn't date black men? Y'all remember that video, that conversation, that private conversation between white girlfriends that leaked onto YouTube? I believe Paris Million did a video on it. Go to Paris Million channel. I love her. She's cool. She doesn't post enough for me, but I don't post enough for y'all, so I'm not gonna complain. You know. And she was talking about how the private conversation was leaked, and I already knew about it, but you know, I'm just telling you somebody who you can go see the conversation from. And so the conversation was leaked, and black men went crazy, calling them racist, blah blah blah. And then other black men was coddling them and rooting for them, the white sister, and like the other video on Instagram where the white girl was telling her it's not a badge of honor to be with a black man. See, but y'all think it's a badge of honor to get with a white girl, but a white girl don't think it's a badge of honor to be with you. Because a lot of y'all are still broken. They gonna still end up being unwed baby mamas, just like y'all do us. See, they thought that they had the magic cookie and they was gonna get treated better than you treat us, but the whole race is under pressure at this point, so they don't know how to be a loving husband, how to be a provider. How many of you black men out there, not talking shit, but how many of you guys can build a cabinet, put up sheetrock, build your girl a house, extend her garage, help her buy a house? You know what I'm saying? Go through the closing things, put y'all money together, let it sit in the bank so y'all can't afford a nice property where you don't have to share a property fence. So it's like those things we cannot accomplish together because we don't protect our blackness and we don't respect our blackness. So it's like we want these other races to respect us and treat us in a genuinely loving and humane manner when we don't do that to one another. Oh, she crazy and all these negative things, but you don't account for what you did. Oh, he be stalking me and he blowing up my phone. Okay, but why? What did you do? He not just going crazy behind you. What did you do? Did you not come home? Like, why are you avoiding him? Because you're avoiding an argument with this man. So what did you do to set him off? You know what I'm saying? This is not just no crazy black man. Bitch, what did you do? You know what I mean? So we don't show no love and no respect and no regard for ourselves. We don't. And it's like when a black woman or a black man tries to make you take accountability for the fucked up shit you do, that person's crazy and that person's tripping. When we should be grateful that someone loves us enough to point out the fuck shit that we do, you know? Because that's a real freedom. That's real love. Because that person loves you enough to not be scared to lose you and to check you when you're doing some fucked up shit. So we expect to be respected and cared about and loved from all these races, but we don't do it to ourselves. A Mexican can come be black, a white girl can come be black, an Iranian can come be black. Everyone who participated in the demise of black people and the oppression of black people, including the biracials, they can all come over here and live comfortably in black society. But we cannot go in none of those other genres, none of those other races, and live comfortably. Go to a white neighborhood, get ran out. A Jewish neighborhood, get ran out. If there was a biracial neighborhood, you get ran out. And like I said, do you honestly think if these biracials can go and be white, they would be over here being black? Half of them hate the fact that they're biracial. And talk to them. Ask them. I'm not lying. I talk to biracial people all the time. These come straight from the horse's mouth. Okay? They wasn't white enough to be white. In order for a biracial person to know that they're not white enough to be white, they had to have tried that shit already. You see what I'm saying? And the first thing they always say is, I wasn't white enough to be white. That's the first one they say. And then they say, I wasn't black enough to be black. Nobody wants to play with me because my hair is long and my skin is light. You a motherfucking lie. I had all kinds of light-skinned friends. I'm not saying they like nigger friends or like black people say I have black friends. But I have all kinds of light-skinned friends, light-skinned clients, light-skinned cousins. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, when you're black, the light skin, it looks like this. Well, like that red caramel. But it's still light-skinned. You know what I mean? So, it's like, I don't get what you mean. I don't get what you mean. If anything, a lot of black girls want to play with and be friends with the light-skinned girl. But y'all be turning y'all nose up at them. Y'all be acting like y'all the shit. Y'all be making fun of them, calling them nappy, calling them ugly, calling them monkeys, calling them gorillas. Don't act like it's the black kids not want to hang out with you. You are mad as fuck that you were in this black society and you pissed. Just like Kiki Wyatt. Why would you take a black person, a black child, and raise them in a white society, and then when the money don't hit right and hit different, you gotta go to the hood? Now this bitch don't know how to function around her other half of her other people. Be biracial. You don't have to pick a side. You can be biracial, and black people need to let biracial people be biracial. Period. I was at this it happens every year. It's called the Black History event or whatever. It happens every year here. And my first time going, this girl was talking about, if it wasn't for my white grandfather and my black mother, I wouldn't exist, blah, 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 blah. So I said, well, you need to go to the biracial community meeting. This is the black community meeting. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, oh, well, bitch, but you in the wrong place. We ain't talking about black empowerment, and you ain't talking about, oh, I wouldn't exist if it wasn't for a biracial marriage. Bitch, you in the wrong room. You in the wrong room. And biracials, you would have to defend yourself within black company if you would just go be biracial. It's okay to have a biracial community. You know who has a functioning biracial community? Indians. Because they are, I explained it in my $5 Indian video. Click down there below. They're just the bastard offspring of the colonizer. They're mixed with Aboriginal and whatever colonizer raped their great-great-grandmother, their great, you know what I'm saying, back in those days. In the long time ago's days. So, and those biracials, fuck biracials, they have more biracial people. Those aren't Indians. Those are just biracials. Go. Go be biracial. There's nothing wrong with that. Go on with you. But what I don't understand is, why do we try to force them to be black? We do not protect blackness. Everybody wants Danny Lee to be black. She's not. She's a Euro Latina. If an Afro Latina can't exist, then why can't a Euro Latina? A Spaniard is a Euro Latina. Hello? That's why they always say Spaniards speak proper Spanish. Because that's that white shit. Have you ever been to Spain? Those are white motherfuckers. They just tan. A lot. Just like Evelyn doing all that extra tan. She gonna give herself skin cancer trying to look like an Afro-Latina. Girl, you not. You are not. And neither is your child. Y'all are Latina people. Y'all are Puerto Ricans. Another batch of Euro Latinas. Now, there are some mixed Puerto Ricans that are mixed with black that look like me. But for the most, but like I said, like I'm noticing, a lot of people hide their dark. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. With us being the first person, every race original is going to look like me. You see what I'm saying? And then the climate changes, colonization changes, and stuff like that. Then becomes biracial, sleeping with biracials, and then you become this other race because you have then dispelled us from your DNA. Now you are more on the ROH side than you are on the Eve gene, the mitochondrial side. So you know what I'm saying? You can call it a de-evolution or a devolution. How do you say that? You can call it that or whatever you want to refer to it as. But there's a such thing as breeding out your black. There's a book called Rabbit Proof Fence. If you don't know read the book, watch the movie. And it talks about how they tried to breed out the black in Australia and create white people in Australia. You don't think they tried that globally and that's not done globally? Stop it. They invented the yellow bone. That's where the yellow bone comes from. White people made yellow bones. Then they used them to oppress us, to make us feel ugly, to make us feel less than because they're close to white. And white is something that we've always envied. Just it goes back to slavery days. And it's like, I'm so sick of people acting like slavery was thousands of years ago, 400 or 500 years ago. Slavery was like 153 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So everybody want to say, oh, get over, get over. It was only a couple hundred, not even 200 years ago yet. 1,500 years ago. So we are still trying to heal from that. the psychotraumatic stress and pressure that we've been through as a people. And that's why we're allowing all these other races to come and be black. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop. We've spent too much time loving and sharing all of our shit with other races. Now they're using all these black doctors and all these African scientists to create smart dust that's going to cut off our central nervous system, and we're going to be controlled. You know what I'm saying? My phone don't do that story. Why is people steady being able to text me? So I don't get it. Why is it that we are continuously allowing this? Because we are still under that pressure, under that mindset from slavery. It was like last weekend. It wasn't that long ago. So I get it. I really do get it. But we have to get to the point to where we love ourselves enough to say enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? They create those biracials to oppress us. Let them know it's not gonna work. Send them biracials to live with them biracials. I'm gonna give you another example. Okay. What's that girl name that said she don't date black girls? Doja Cat. Doja Cat, in her mind, is a white woman. Picked a side, chose the white side. What they make you feel like her father's a deadbeat, a rich actor from Africa who shouldn't have been fucking this white lady anyway. But you know, Africa's under the thumb for real. And after apartheid, they just start fucking everybody. But anyway, but what they don't tell you is that her father, that lady, took his child and moved to America. Somewhere she knew, number one, he couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? And number two, he wouldn't go. You know what I'm saying? So she took that man child from him out of spite. Out of fucking spite. Because she was a side bitch. And then made this girl believe her daddy she didn't want to be with her. And she has never met this man. Never. But the mama ain't told her the truth. Not a lying white ass. So look. What we have to do is protect ourselves. Protect who we are. I got milk on my lips. It was delicious. Well, it's almond milk. You know, I don't drink no cow puss, honey. I'm not a calf. We have to start protecting who we are as a people and protecting our blackness and loving our blackness enough to not let everybody be black. Everybody's not black. The one drop rule was created by white people so that black people wouldn't try to be white, or people that was mixed would come into black society and do the oppression that they were supposed to do and make us feel a way about ourselves and make us bow down to the masses so that they can keep up and hold up status quo. Because back in the day, not even 100 years ago, 70 years ago, we wasn't doing all that intermixing and all that bullshitting and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until like the Malcolm X days where people started really fucking with white girls like that and stuff like that. I understand it went on a little bit, but it wasn't so inherent. It wasn't so repetitious. It wasn't so all the fucking time like it is now. It wasn't like that then either. You know what I mean? You have a white slut, fuck a black slut every now and then, but that's it. It wasn't prolific back in those days. So when we amassed millions of dollars and as a black people owned over 40% of this country, then they had to do something. They burned down everything we had, put us in company of biracials to maintain the status quo and make sure we never come up again. You notice when y'all in these biracial relationships or these interracial relationships, the other person isn't telling you, don't talk about your mama like that. Don't do that. Be good. Talk to her. Be with her. You know what I'm saying? You're not holding this man accountable for his bullshit. You let him talk shit about black people because you're talking the same shit about black people. You know what I'm saying? If you're not saying it out loud, you feel it. And the energy is transcended through sex. Same way with black women. Talking shit about black men to white men. They're not telling you not to do that. They ain't telling you to keep it real with your people. They're not doing that because that's not their job. That's your job. Okay? These biracials not telling you, oh, you know, My good hair don't make me, or my good hair don't make me. Where did the term good hair come from? Come on, to make them one up us. When black girls start going natural, they start going natural. Bitch, you already was natural. What the fuck? Like, the shit is weird. And y'all know this shit is fucking weird. And y'all are helping uphold the status quo, and you're keeping yourself under that European thumb because you are not realizing the game that's played against you. Respect, protect, and love your blackness, your indigenous roots. You're indigenous to Turtle Island. You need to start walking and talking and within that capacity. Don't let them tell you that you're not an Indian because you're not a part of the mixed bastard offspring. Go look at my video down there when I got into it with a fucking $5 Indian. I put all of it online. Go down there and look at it. I love you guys. This is Black Span, and learn something. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not from me, learn it from somebody, and understand that we are worth existing, and we're worth loving and being protected. Okay, and we have to do it for each other, because waiting on somebody else to do it is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. They let us say Black Lives Matter. Black culture matters is too. The black race matters. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, indigenous lives matter. And I'm out.